The city of Whittier can trace its beginnings to the 19th century and a group of Quakers who traveled here from the Midwest.
And in tonight's Look at This, our Desmond Shaw is over the small house where this beautiful city all began.
Well, take a look at this little home in Whittier. This is the Bailey House. It's the oldest building in the city and a museum that tells more than 150 years of Whittier's history. Looks like it's undergoing a renovation at the moment. Maybe a new roof is in the works. Built in 1867 by businessman Jacob Gerkens, he would actually go on to serve 2 terms as an LA city councilman and was elected to be LA's very first police chief. In the 1880s, a Chicago Quaker named Aquila Pickering founded the Pickering Land and Water Company with the goal of founding a new Quaker community on the West Coast. They planned their new town around this residence. The home is known now for the home's next occupants. That was Jonathan and Rebecca Bailey. They were Quakers who were already in their 60s before they moved here after a successful life in the milling industry in Ohio. The Pickering Land Company elected Jonathan as the president of the company to found their new community on roughly 1,200 acres of land, and Bailey is recognized as one of the founding fathers of Whittier. The name Whittier was selected in honor of Quaker poet John Greenleaf Whittier, and if you've been to this great little city, then you know that Greenleaf Avenue is where the downtown area is. According to the museum's website, this modest 6-room home will be the center of nearly all activity when Whittier was getting off the ground. They hosted meetings on their front porch, religious services in the backyard until a church was eventually built. Bailey was said to have woken up at 4 each morning to mount his horse Polly to ride around the foothills with workers in search of water for crops. His wife Rebecca was in charge of welcoming new residents to their tiny community. The Quakers also built nearby Whittier College in 1891. First known as the Whittier Academy, will likely get its own look someday. Under the Baileys and the Quakers, Whittier became a thriving agricultural exporter. Citrus and walnuts were the most successful crops. Quaker branded fruit was exported all over America, and Whittier would actually at one time grow more walnuts than anywhere else in the country. Whittier officially became its own city in February of 1898. Rebecca passed away that same year. Jonathan lived here until he too passed in 1904. And amazingly, this home survived all the way into the 1970s before it was deeded to the city to be preserved as a museum. They have artifacts here from the 19th century to give you an idea of what life was like when Whittier was first beginning. WhittierMuseum.org for more info and tour times of the oldest house in Whittier, the Bailey House on East Camilla Street. Taking a look at this from SkyCal, I'm Desmond Shaw.
And if you'd like Desmond to take a look at something interesting in your neighborhood, write us at lookatthis@cbs.com.